Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say thank you to everybody out there. You are awesome and amazing. And if you survived this far into 2020, the Battle of the Ages, you're my hero. I'm sort of exhausted physically, spiritually, and mentally, and probably emotionally. So if I'm a little rusty, please forgive me. We're looking at earthquakes. We had a 6.3 happen in the Prince Edward Islands region. You might be like, where is that? Well, it's over there. And I always think that earthquakes that happen on the seams are extra interesting. Though I guess technically not as interesting as earthquakes that hit populated cities. But thank God that is not happening at this exact moment. But we're keeping an eye on the things. As of right now, we are in a lull of hurricane season. After 3 hurricanes in a short amount of time, we had Hurricane Hannah, Hurricane Douglas, and then Hurricane Isaias. Now, it looks like things are going quiet for about another 10 to 14 days. So technically, that's good. The GFS hurricane, which showed up 8 times in a row almost, has disappeared off the GFS completely, though the CSU and the NCAA have upgraded their forecasts to like extra active. And so we are definitely going to be on the super lookout. I'm expecting to see something around the 20th, although nothing is in stone at the moment. 3 days after Hurricane Isaias hit the Northeast, over 1 million people are still without power, with the majority being in Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York. We need a new power grid, man. Our power grid is like old and got cobwebs and shit. We've got more storms rolling through the mid-Atlantic and the South tonight and in the plains. And then we got severe weather. Mother Nature's going back to tomorrow to pick on the Dakotas and the Minnesotas, plus into the Canadas. And then the day after tomorrow, Mother Nature's going to dip a little souther to bring some straight line winds, hail, and possible tornadoes. And then technically the day after tomorrow, which would be day 4, then we've got a pretty big area for some pretty big storms. And usually, if we get a 4-day advance on severe weather, the weather is pretty severe. So if you are in these areas, you're going to be looking out, because over the next 4 days, there's going to be a lot of nasty weather coming through here. So we got some more flash flood warnings and watches coming for the Northeast. And then you got a super hot zone time through the West, which means wildfires are a big story again. At the moment, it doesn't look like a whole lot of monsoonal moisture are making it into the Southwest, although some is getting there. Looks like most of the moisture is staying in the Northeast and this part of the U, the S, and the A. Philip Pappin, who's always yapping, cool weather stuff, talking about the tropics are temporarily quiet in the Western Hemisphere. However, that may soon change in the Eastern Pacific, Central Pacific basins, as an active Madden-Julian oscillation event moves over and may spawn multiple tropical cyclones. The 12Z Euro had a particularly overzealous forecast with 6 individual tropical cyclones vortices in the 5 to 10 day forecast. Yeah, that would be nasty, huh? And usually, when one ocean wakes up, the other ocean wakes up. That's not always true, but it is interesting to keep out for. We definitely think that the hurricane season is going to get active again. We just have a little bit of a break right now. And so the West is back to having major fires that kind of look like volcano eruptions. You know what I'm saying? Michael Chernick, high-res shot of the Pine Gulf fire roared to life once again in the hills north of Grand Junction yesterday. A dramatic erupting pyrocumulus photograph like this has been on my bucket list for a while. Well, congratulations, Mikey. Wishing safe operations to all working this event. This is in Colorado. This is the Pine Gulch fire. Yeah, we're seeing too many things that look like mushroom cloud or volcanoes for my liking. But, yeah, this is supposedly a fire. Okay, great. Man, I'm so ready for 2020 to get better and the world to start improving. Special shout out to Cranky Weather Guy and the entire weather team for doing a great job over the last, through July and the start of August. Bobby Storms, keep an eye on this area, which we'll keep an eye out for any CAGs, Central American gyres that form, and we'll have possible action coming from the Gulf of Mexico and then from the Atlantic. There's still quite a bit of Saharan dust, but that didn't stop Isaias from forming. Right now, the tropics on back burner on simmer. And so we are watching for sure. The GFS, the Euro, and the Icon have been hinting at possible activity in the 10-day range, which would be about the 16th. And Cranky Weather Guy has been warning us about possible activity for about a month, starting around the 16th and through the start of September. I'd like to remind everybody that for Hurricane Hannah, the GFS started to show a hurricane hitting Texas for a couple days, and then it stopped completely and didn't pick the hurricane back up pretty much until the hurricane hit. So I'm still taking all those GFS signals as signals that we probably have something coming out of, probably got one coming out of here, zoop, and then we might have one coming right there, zoop, around the same time. It's possible. Be prepared for almost anything because it is 2020. And this graphic is brought to us by the Hurricane Man, the Zodiac 13. 12Z Euro is hinting at a wave that may trek northwest as Isaias did. Something to watch for early next week. Oh my gosh, all the signals are there for possible later August massive outbreak. Ben Knoll, this isn't ideal. A hurricane outbreak is possible later in August as a massive convective pulse crosses the East Pacific and Atlantic, aligned with a near-peak climatology. Be ready. Green equals above normal upper air divergence, a necessary ingredient for thunderstorms. And I'm definitely still going to be around the next day or two. It's just that the last month and technically the whole year has been really, really rough. So I'm trying to recalibrate all my senses and definitely get my sense of humor back. Plus that H-bomb looking thing in Lebanon sort of freaked me out. Dadabu, 12Z Euro, 240, shows, the possible wave that we were watching 10 days out. One of them. There are two that I got my eye on. Yeah, if the month-long of Cranky Weather Guy giving us warnings about the middle of August weren't enough, a lot of other places and basins are giving signals. Global weather updates, ECM ensemble showing rising motion across the whole Atlantic basin from around the middle of the month onwards. GFS is showing signs of development in the Caribbean around the middle of the month. And so, everybody get ready now. I'm pretty sure the peak hurricane season is going to be super peaky. Andy Hazelton, JMA, just like the EPS, showing the strong CCKW MJO event, making the Eastern Pacific favorable for a time and then heading east. So in late August, early September, we will probably have a dangerous collision of peak climatology, seasonal state, ENSO and AMO, and intra-seasonal forcing. So, So we're going to have one coming off the Africa that may be dangerous and one coming out of the CAG down in Central America that may be dangerous. Around the 16th to 20th, 25th. And so please enjoy this calm time now. Meredith Garofalo letting us know the apple fire is still kicking and only 30% contained. And so I will keep my eyes on the prize and keep you guys updated. You guys are amazing, awesome. I super appreciate you. I love you guys. And you're my heroes for surviving this far. So everybody stay cool, and I'll try to get back in the saddle, get my sense of humor back. We will get back to doing what we do, which is play defense. All right. God bless everyone. Stay cool. Let's live long and prosper together, and may the force be with you always.